class, welcome to math. Tonight I have a little bigger stack of flashcards I'd like us to go through. I'm going to go a little bit fast and it's going to be all mixed up. They're a little bit like the practices that you're doing at school right now. So here we go. 6 times 4 is 24. 5 times 9 is 45. 8 times 4 is 32. 5 times 7 is 35. 8 times 5 is 40. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12. 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 3 is 18. 5 times 6 is 30. 9 times 8 is 72. 5 times 4 is 20. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 6 is 54. 6 times 7 is 42. 9 times 4 is 36. 6 times 6 is 36. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 9 is 81. 6 times 9 is 54. And 9 times 2 is 18. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10. And 5 times 3 is 15. I hope you're able to keep up with me. If you weren't able to keep up with me, please practice. And you've got the weekend. You could watch it more than once. And you can get faster at these. I am impressed with how fast you are going. And I looked over your tests from today that you did on speed. And you've all improved so much. It's really very cool. All right, we're going to work a little bit more on math with zeros. That still seems to be kind of a tricky subject. But we're going to get it licked and we're going to become pros. So here we go. We have our number 859. We divide it by 8. And our first thing we do is we check out the first column, which in this case is the hundreds column. And there is one group of 8 in 8. So here we go. We'll subtract. And we end up with 59 by the time we subtract that. Now we move to the tens column. And in the tens column, we have a 5. How many equal groups of 8 are in 5? And there are not any. So this is where we get our 0. 0 times 8 is 0. And we get a 59 there. But the difference between this 59 and this 59 is that this one is 5 tens and 9 ones. The one down here is 59 ones. We're now in the ones column, so this is now 59 ones. So we know that, let's see, 8 times 8 is 64. That's going to be too much. Let's try 8 times 7. That is, can you think of that? That is 56. Good for you. We subtract that and we get 3 left over. But we didn't put it up here, did we? We need to put that up there. 7 times 8 is 56. Do you see how we got that? Do you see how in this column it's 5 tens and 9 ones? Because we're in the tens column. But since there were no tens, no 8s, they could go evenly into 5 tens, we were able to subtract the zeros and we ended up with 59. We have our 0, so then that moves us over to the ones column, where this then becomes 59 ones. And there are 8, if you have 8 groups with the 59, you would end up with 7 in each group, 7 ones in each group, and you would have 3 left over. I hope that that is starting to make more sense. We're going to just keep working on it. working it different ways and thinking about it differently in order to get it so that we can become masters at this. And we will always know when to put a 0 and when not to. The key is to remember to do all of your math in a line. So you do your first place, which right here is the hundreds. You do your next spot, which is the tens. And then you do the next spot, which is the ones. If you'll always work your way along, you will always know where that 0 goes if there's a 0 in the answer. All right, now let's work on the next thing. We're to the point where we're doing such complicated problems now that we really need to always check our work. So let's take our answer here. Our answer is 107 remainder 3. So to check it, we'll take 107. We're going to multiply it by 8. Because again, this times this equals this. This divided by that equals this. It's just all connected to each other. So we now, to figure out if we got the right answer here, we're going to multiply this with this, and we should end up with this. Let's give it a try. We have 107 107 times 8. All right, look what I got. I suppose you got the same thing. I took 107, multiplied it by 8. I got 856. Then I added my remainder of 3, and I have 859. And look, it's 859. It worked out perfectly. So we know we have the right answer. You can always quickly check your work to know if you've gotten the right answer, and then you know whether or not you can go on, and you will not be tricked by those pesky zeros that show up in these problems. I hope that you can practice this until you're very confident with it. Please bring in to me this page that you've worked, and please bring in the page where you have corrected it. You could do it front and back on your paper if you'd like. And then I will see you in math. Have a good evening.